Just this morning, the Department of Education's website scratched a lot of things that happened under Ryan Walters' reign. PragerU partnership, the naturalization test for teachers, America First assessment, gone from the website.
Ryan Walters, I talked about it the other day, is out at the Department of Education in Oklahoma as the superintendent, the State Department of Instruction or whatever they call it. And they're learning now, well, one, it's like they have to go and scrub all of the policies from the website and from being in action in the state. And as part of that review, they're also finding out all kinds of things about $150,000 salary here for a guy who's only showed up to work 4 times and $50,000 in bonuses for this guy who lives in Texas. All kinds of serious implications for Ryan Walters legally are coming down the pike. But let's start with the erasure of the website, because when Ryan Walters took office, he tried to implement a white Christian nationalist worldview into the education standards of the state of Oklahoma, which is already number 50 out of 50. Not good. And any parent who has any concern for the education of their children should be outraged that this is the guy who ran roughshod over the state's education system, putting in PragerU lessons into elementary schools, PragerU lessons that said, yeah, slavery's bad, but it's not as bad as being murdered. Yeah. Buying Donald Trump Bibles, the God Bless the USA Bible with Donald Trump's inaugural addresses and all the other, his signature, buying those to put them into classrooms. There's all kinds of nonsense that they're having to reverse right now. And it's turning out to be more of a task than they thought. Watch this from WFOR, local Oklahoma City affiliate.
So just this morning, the Department of Education's website scratched a lot of things that happened under Ryan Walters' reign. PragerU partnership, the naturalization test for teachers, America First assessment, gone from the website. Just goes to show that whoever Governor Stitt ends up putting at the department has a long road ahead.
Am I happy? No.
Lawmakers say normalcy is needed at the Department of Education. Some normalcy came as Educators Hall of Fame was put back up at the Department of Education Wednesday afternoon, after what many consider a controversial reign under Ryan Walters.
Wants Oklahoma to be the first state to put Bibles back in schools.
From the new social studies standards making false claims about the 2020 election, giving teachers transferring from blue states the America First test. Changes, though, have already happened. All right, let's take a look at some changes already made. This is the Department of Education website. This was September 22nd. When you scroll down, you saw a lot. Office of Religious Liberty, school choice links. And then when you clicked on this, Story of America, it took you to those social studies standards that were controversial, the test teachers had to take, the naturalization test. It also had several other links, including the PragerU partnership links. Now, let's look at this website. This is the current Department of Education website. It looks similar, but none of the links to the America site that had PragerU, has this Teacher of the Year thing, a school choice link. Other than that, it has a lot of changes compared to when Walters ran it.
I'm very hopeful that whoever is named interim will prioritize reparative work.
Reverend Dr. Shannon Fleck has been long outspoken against what she calls Walters' Christian nationalism.
Most atrocious, but his implementation of Bibles in public schools, specifically the Trump Bible.
Fleck is also a part of a lawsuit fighting back against the new social studies standards. Those are on hold in the courts until the next court date.
We very much need to go back over his tenure.
Revisiting things would probably not be an issue.
Shauna Montright represents educators. She says, let's get back to before Oklahoma was 50th in education.
Oklahoma social studies teachers were chosen again, and they wrote what they wrote.
While updates to the websites Wednesday show a glimpse of that change, it could be costly and take some time. And just before this show, the Attorney General Gentner Drummond, who is running for governor in that campaign right now, but his office just requested a state audit of the Department of Education going back to January of 2023.
And as part of this website and policy purge, this attempt to reverse the damage that has been done, the weird tests for teachers who come from out of state to teach in the state of Oklahoma, they need to take an America First kind of a test. All of this. They're having to reverse it. And in the course of that, they're realizing, oh shit, there was a lot more damage done here than we thought. So much so that the Republican Attorney General, Republican officials, because keep in mind, Oklahoma isn't even like Texas, where there's a pretty good split of Democrats and Republicans. Oklahoma and Idaho, there's a few states that are very Republican, that are overwhelmingly Republican. And even in this overwhelmingly Republican state of Oklahoma, they are starting an investigation that I believe is going to portend bad things for Mr. Ryan Walters and the mismanagement and the abuse of his position, paying people vast sums of money, pilfering the education system in the state of Oklahoma. Here, same network, same affiliate, talking about this on a separate day, the investigation.
Busy first day without Ryan Walters in charge of the Oklahoma State Department of Education here at the Oliver Hodge building. We actually saw folks coming out of this building carrying stuff from their offices, loading it into their cars here in the parking lot this morning. Still, though, a lot's uncertain about who will remain on staff whenever somebody new finally comes in and takes over. And while we didn't see him Wednesday, a top Oklahoma State Department of Education official told me Ryan Walters' chief policy advisor Matt Langston is out too. The official telling me Langston will not be returning to the department. It's not clear right now if he's still on the state payroll. We told you Langston draws a $150,000 a year salary from the state while also getting more than $40,000 in taxpayer-funded bonus payments. That's despite the fact he lives and works out of Texas full-time, where he runs his own political consulting firm.
His connections and people that the superintendent has brought on board are all political folks. They're all work on campaigns from Florida to Washington, D.C.
And public records we told you Oklahoma Watch uncovered showed he's only used his badge to get into the Department of Education building 4 times the first half of this year.
He is a ghost employee. He's not showing up to work, but he's getting a check from the state of Oklahoma.
Another controversial top advisor we can confirm has not left the department is Chief of Staff Matt Moeller, who was at the office Wednesday. Is Matt Moeller in today?
They're in today, they're in a meeting right now.
Off camera, I tried asking Moeller if he plans to resign. He did not respond. We first told you OSDE hired Moeller, a Florida-based political consultant, back in February, the state paying him nearly $50,000 in his first month on the job alone.
It's a huge waste, and we know it's a huge waste.
And State Senator Mary Boren says it all may be more than just wasteful.
If they were taking money to do a job that they weren't doing, that violates state law.
We also heard from numerous current Republican and Democratic state lawmakers Wednesday who all told us Moeller and Langston need to be at the top of the list of staff following Ryan Walters to the exit.
I think our new interim state superintendent is going to have to quickly restore order after this storm that we've been through collectively as a state.
Meanwhile, another bipartisan group of lawmakers I heard from Wednesday told me they want a full forensic audit examining Walters' tenure leading the Department of Education. And late Wednesday afternoon, Attorney General Gentner Drummond called on State Auditor Cindy Byrd to do just that, announcing, given the former superintendent's well-established history of mishandling tax dollars combined with new and ongoing allegations of misspending, I am now ordering an investigative audit of the Oklahoma State Department of Education.
We just need to make sure that whatever has happened before us and the fiscal mismanagement is appropriately attributed to the prior administration so that this new administration can have a fresh start.
So above all else, what this signals to me is the fact that Republicans, MAGA Republicans even, are very unhappy with what took place. They're going to find out the details of the person they elected to this position and then be like, what? Well, I didn't know that. I didn't vote for that. It's going to be kind of a replay of the 2024 election, that now there's all of these from Joe Rogan types and comedians who are disavowing the damage that they brought on, that they ushered in by supporting Donald Trump's candidacy. All of the farmers who were like, oh, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for all of my workers to be deported. I didn't vote for these tariffs to ruin my business. Yeah, you did. And hopefully there's some sliver of the population in Oklahoma who will realize, yeah, I did vote for that. And maybe next time I need to be a little bit more clear-headed. Maybe next time I need to think a little bit more clearly about the person that I'm putting in and not be some knee-jerk reactionary believing that kids have litter boxes in their classrooms. Maybe don't be driven by conspiracy theory and moronic talking points from these MAGA America First Nazi fucks. Maybe that. We'll see what happens. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. If you live in Oklahoma, I'd really love to hear from you. You can also leave me a voicemail after you leave a comment, or in lieu of a comment, you can leave a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I will see you next time. I love and appreciate you very much. Be genuine and take care of one another.